Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. Today, I have a very special guest with us today. She's an illustrator. Please welcome Destiny Butler. Hello, Destiny. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
You are most welcome. So, I want to go ahead and get started with this interview by asking where you're originally from and how'd you get started in the realm of art?
Um, my parents are in the military, so I'm not really from anywhere, many places and nowhere at all. I call Kentucky home because that's where I went to high school and college. So I was there the longest. So Kentucky. Um, how I got into art and illustration, it kind of just fell in my lap. It was not something that I had ever got into or tried outside of like third grade art class. Like it wasn't a thing for me. Having the time on my hands during quarantine is kind of what catapulted me into art.
All right, that's really, really cool. Yeah, I got into art like when I was like really, really young. When I was like in second grade, I got into art class. I was like, this is it. I am I'm into like like just art, like just well versed, just diving into the art and looking at it, looking at other artists, and it's really, really amazing. Now, who would you consider to be like your favorite artists and illustrators?
Raina Noriega. I just love that Raina Noriega. My mom, I'm always talking about her like I know her. I don't know her, but I feel like I know her. Like I'm always talking about her. I love the color palette she uses. I love that like she's from Miami, so her pieces feel like Miami.
Mm.
Like I love her outfits. I'm always on her page. I like her.
Oh, that's really, really cool. Like I like Salvador Dali. There's this
Yeah.
artist that does a lot of like typography, but her work is really, really good. She's from Australia. Her name is Mrs. Eves.
Really,
And
I
she
follow
does,
her. I love looking at typography.
yeah, typography is like the coolest thing to look at. Also, there's another artist, a black guy. His name is David Oku, and I
Uh-huh.
just discovered his work. His work is very colorful, very vector. It's just really, really amazing.
Oh, yes. Please send me their Instagrams after this. I must follow.
Yeah, yeah, I will also. And there's another artist named Paul Lewin.
Uh-huh.
He's from Jamaica, but he's in Miami, from my understanding. He does like these African style works
Uh-huh.
of art, using a lot of complementary colors with blue and orange, and
Mhm.
it's really, really cool.
Yes, it feels like you can like tell where an artist is from, kind of
Yeah,
based on like, the colors that they use and how it feels. Like you can sometimes tell.
yeah. That's the entire thing with that. Like, yeah, most definitely. Now, in terms of your art style, how could you describe your art style?
I think about this a lot. They're all 2D, they're all flat. Um, Kind of basic illustrations. I know it's not as difficult as it looks at all. They're just Black women, like 2D Black women digital illustrations.
Mm. Yeah, I noticed with your artwork, like you use a lot of color blocking. So I want to get into color palettes a little bit because you use like tints, tones, and shades. So you may use different tones and shades of pink, tones and shades of blue, or like purple. So what is your whole process in terms of coming up with a color palette in terms of tints, tones, and shades?
Well, that has pretty much evolved over time because originally, like the past since January 1st, I started January 1st, started like posting myself more and like incorporating myself more into it. So since January, my thought process behind it has been colors that look good on me and like what colors that I want to get my nails next. And like, so like if I'm like on Instagram and I see some nails I like, that's probably gonna be my next color scheme. So that's how I choose my color schemes now. But previously, when I wasn't posting myself and I was strictly only posting the art, I
Mm,
would choose color schemes based on like the season that we were in, or
mm,
like one of the first illustrations that I made in the color block. That person actually had that color on or something, and I was just like, "Oh, that's so pretty," and kind of went on with it. But it has definitely been more therapeutic now because it's like, oh, this color will look cute on me. Like, oh, I like those nails. And it has become more authentic to me and like what I want and what I'm feeling at the time now.
yeah. I could see that evolution, but also too, like I like with your work as well, you incorporate like inspirational quotes, especially
Mhm.
revolving around Black culture. And I really want to kind of get into that because I think, having Black representation is very important. So, how important and vital is it to have Black representation in art or in the art world in general?
Well, It's extremely important, and it feels like the market's saturated, kind of. It feels like there's so many Black artists, but there's not. There's like 5 of us out of a million, like, so
Right.
like there's not a lot of Black artists, there's not a lot of representation, or Black artists doing Black art. Like there'll be like
Right.
white artists doing Black people, because for a
Mhm.
long time when I wasn't posting myself, people would ask me, was I Black or not? Because there are so many people that are not Black that are drawing Black figures, and like that's fine, but like drawing it from the perspective of a Black person is like so much better. It feels like it's such a different feeling, and it's like, it's your experience. I just think that I would love for more people to like tap into their creative side or tap into their artistry, and not
Right.
be under the impression that there's so many people doing it, or that there's enough representation, because there's never enough. There's no such thing. And everybody's style is so different. Like everybody's vibe is different, everybody's experience is different, and I feel like we need more of those. But obviously it takes time, it takes patience, it takes like the luxury of having that time. um,
Mhm.
so that's a big factor as well. But there's not enough representation. We need more all the time, because like me, like I only draw Black women because I like to draw Black women, but where's the person drawing only Black men? We need them too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And it's also like how you said, not just within the art world in terms of continuing that representation, but I think it's with a lot of industries, especially within the beauty industry, the
Yeah,
industry that I'm in, like especially within the nail industry. I think Black representation is very important to continue. So that way we have like people like us that are like, hey, these are nail artists, and artists that are, contemporary artists that are doing their thing, that are representing us and our experiences and our perspectives.
exactly. It's a different vibe. It's a different feeling, because it is your experience, and it's just like a connection. So you have a deeper connection with the art, a deeper connection with like the craft, because
Mhm.
it's like, I see you, like, girl, this is my experience too. Like, I feel this.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely like how you incorporate, consistently like Black women, especially within like fashion. Like, what got you drawn into like fashion and things like that?
So most of my inspo comes from Pinterest.
Okay.
And I think I typed in like brunch outfits or something, and like all these like New York Fashion Week outfits start coming up, and I'm just like, oh my God, I love it here. So now I'm just like, I have to incorporate like high fashion. Like,
Mhm.
so that's pretty much how I got into it. It's Pinterest. Pinterest inspires me a lot, and especially the fashion. I love the high fashion, and everyone else seems to love it as well. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I love like the high fashion, looking at it on Pinterest or Google, wherever, like the high fashion clothes, like the haute couture is absolutely really, really stunning.
Yes, yes, I agree.
Yeah, yeah. So that's really, really cool. Now I want to get into collaboration. So you've done a collaboration with Old Navy in terms of doing like these statement tees. So how did that opportunity happen?
That opportunity also just fell in my lap. I still remember the day I got the email, because it wasn't something I ever like applied to or reached out to or
Mhm.
anything like that. Because I think the inaugural Project We Black History Month tees were the pre was 2021, and Raina Noriega did it. Love her. But the previous year was her, and it wasn't really even on my radar. And they emailed me in like, I want to say like August or September, and asking about it. And it was like super straightforward. It was very much so like, yeah, hey, we want you to do these shirts. How much will you charge? Like that was like that. It was so straightforward. It wasn't like a roundabout kind of thing. It wasn't like, oh, we're picking artists and we might pick you. It was very much like, we want you.
Mhm.
And so how much are you charging? Like, let's do this. And it was such an easy process. Like, it was not a lot of rounds of edits. I think I made 2 pieces for them, and one of them being the generational strength piece. I made
Mhm.
2 pieces, and they immediately picked that one. And minor tweaks after that. I think it maybe took me like a week and a half, maybe, to like get the piece finalized. Like, they loved it immediately. It
Mhm.
flowed so easily. And then I had to do the photo shoot, which was in San Francisco. I'd never been there. I was so excited. I imagined it to be like, Princess Diaries, That's So Raven, when they were in San Fran. It's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that there. It's not like that, but that's what I was picturing. I'm just like, I'm going to be like, Princess Diaries. But anyway, I went there, and it was an all Black and color crew. Not colored. Oh my God. People of color. Oh my God. Anyway, it was all Black and people of color crew. And at first I thought that was literally just who worked at Old Navy, because I was thinking like, that is so nice. They have all these Black people working for Old Navy. I'm just like, who knew? They were so diverse. But I didn't realize it was intentional until afterwards, that the photographers they hired were intentional. The makeup artists, the stylists, everything was super, super intentional. And I didn't even realize it until afterwards that they hired these people specifically like for this. And it was such an amazing experience. Like it felt like home. Like everybody was my best friend. Everybody, they were eating me up. And I feed off of energy. So like they were really eating me up, and I had the time of my life. They played City Girls the whole time I was taking pictures. Everybody knows I love the City Girls. They played them the entire time. Like it was such an amazing experience. And it was so nice that they were so intentional about it, and so intentional about having people of color on a set, and like, you know, putting money in their pockets as well. I thought that was so amazing. 10 out of 10, recommend. I can't wait to see what they do next year. It was so amazing.
That's really, really cool. But I also want to venture to, you got into a collaboration with both Fenty Beauty and Fenty Skin, as well as doing artwork for BET Sisters. So how did those like opportunities, like what was that like, you know, those opportunities?
They were very cool. BET Sisters, I think that was one of my first kind of bigger collaborations. So I think it was in 2020. I was still learning a lot. And it was a huge learning experience for me. It was a cool collab, and I was super thankful to be a part of it. But it was definitely a big learning experience for me. And it was like a stepping stone to how big things can get for me and how much that I can do. Fenty came about because I went to college with, I think she runs the social media of either Fenty Beauty or Fenty Skin, one of them. She runs the social media. And she just DM'd me and was just like, girl, can you do our Juneteenth? And she asked me like 2 days before they needed it, like 2 days before Juneteenth. Wow. They asked me like, can you get this done in 48 hours? And I'm like, okay, like this is Fenty. Of course I can. I will pull 2 all-nighters, of course. And so that's how that came about. And the illustrations were of, a couple of them were of my best friends, actually. I took the inspo from them because I was just like, y'all, we are working for Fenty. Us, we. Yes, it was very, very cool to see it. And another girl that I went to college with, she was also a part of it. I think she was a painter. She was also a part of it. So it was just like having those connections, because sometimes it's about who you know. And that was a huge like, you know, moment for me, because I'm just like, you know, and I only got it because I knew her. And I'm just like, it really is about who you know and who you connect with. And that was a very cool experience for me. Everybody loves Fenty. Everybody loves Rihanna.
Yeah, like also want to get into like the importance of marketing. So what are some ways or marketing strategies for someone who wants to market their artwork?
So the way I started out, nobody's ever asked me that. The way I started out in 2020 when we started, I bought a book called Defeating Instagram's Algorithm. I don't think it's still relevant anymore because the algorithm changes so much, and it's changed so much over the 2 years. But at the time, it was how to defeat their algorithm. And it was pretty much like, first and foremost, you have to post every single day. Every single day. The book said you had to do like 3 or 4 posts a day, but I do 1 post a day and it worked fine for me. But you absolutely positively have to post every day. You have to be super, super consistent. And I also, when you search a hashtag like Black women bloggers or something like that, and that's like my niche, like people, Black women who are bloggers, Black women, you know, creatives. That was my niche. So I would go click on that hashtag and go through the people who would post with that hashtag. And like, I would like, you know, comment and like, you know, open up that line of communication with those people, because people are more willing to follow you. They're more willing to interact with you if you're interacting with them, you know, because the interactions for their posts, if they're using the hashtags, the interactions for their posts are just as important as it is for you. So like opening up those line of communications and just like connecting with those people, that really helps a lot. I also remember having the strategy of drawing celebrities or people with a huge following so that those people would repost me. And so like the marketing is doing its own thing.
Right.
That was another strategy that I had. And then it kind of organically grew after that. Like after that,
Mhm.
I think after I got to 10,000 followers, the legitimacy of your like account is like super solid. So you pretty much like everything is super organic after that. And
Mhm.
it works in your favor. But a lot of interactions, which can be tedious, which I can understand why a lot of people don't do it as often.
Mhm.
It's super, super tedious. A lot of interactions, posting every day can be very hard, especially if you don't have the luxury of having the time to sit there and draw every day or sit there and like have something to post every day. Like it's a luxury to have that time. So
Mhm.
like, but it's definitely like imperative for like your growth of your Instagram, and people want to see relevancy. So yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Now, I definitely want to get into you having an art business. So you have your own art business where you sell your own prints, especially hair accessories, stickers. So I want to get into, in terms of the art business, what has been your experience owning your own art business?
It has definitely had a lot of highs and lows. Definitely since being an entrepreneur was not in my plans, it is something that I'm learning as I go. The prints, it was such a journey to get them to the point where they were high enough quality. There was something that I could be proud of, something that I want to hang on my wall. It was a journey for that. I think I tried like 4 or 5 different printing companies. I went through the motions of printing them out and packaging them myself on top of having commissions, which was
Mhm.
extremely difficult to handle. My mom had to like come in and pretty much she takes over my shipping. She does all my shipping. And I'm so thankful because it's really hard. Like it's hard to keep up with shipping. It's hard to keep up with like people's packages get lost or people's packages take a crazy
Right.
amount of time because USPS is acting funny that month or like,
Mhm.
a lot of that. So like you're the customer service, you're the person like doing the printing, you're the person doing the commissions, you're the person doing the marketing. Like it's a lot and it's overwhelming. So I had to learn kind of how to like kind of delegate it and also
Mhm.
becoming organized and disciplined about it, which was very, very hard. It's not something that comes overnight. The discipline part is not an overnight thing. I'm just now getting to the point where I'm proud of the discipline that I have, and like that's taken 2 years. So like it's definitely a lot of highs and lows, definitely a lot of learning, a lot of failing, a lot of trying again. Um, Ooh, child, it's a testimony. But
Mhm.
yeah, it has been difficult. But I finally gotten my prints how I want them. I've gotten the quality that I want them. Like it's consistent every time. I love the company that I work with. Finally, I did
Mhm.
not have a hard time with anything else except for the prints. So like the stickers, I already had a company I was going to for stickers for my packaging. So I went to them, Sticker Giant. I love them, super high quality. They move fast. They're very nice. Um,
Mhm.
and then bonnets, of course, I outsourced the bonnets. I loved the bonnets. The bonnets are my thing. Everybody, Black girls love bonnets. We all
Right.
have like 5 or 6 bonnets. Like you need a bonnet for the car, you need a bonnet for your house, you need 2 or 3 at your house. Then you need one for your purse. You never know when you're gonna
Right.
need a bonnet. So like the bonnets did very, very well. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna come out with another bonnet for the holidays because everybody loves bonnets. I also have clippies, like little hair clippies, and that's just a personal thing. I just love clippies. I don't know what
Mhm.
it is about clippies. I love clippies. So I have a whole bunch of clippies. And yeah, that's all I sell right now, for now.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And I like the point that you mentioned. It was the discipline aspect. And I think that's really important. And of course, that's what a lot of us are, especially myself. I'm still working on disciplining myself and things like that. And that's something that's very important, especially with having a business. You got
Yeah.
to have any skill that you have to have some sort of discipline. Or
Mhm.
how would you schedule your day, like each day, or maybe every other day? So I think that's things things to consider.
Yeah, it can be very, very hard. And it's not something that is in you. It's something that grows to become you.
Right.
Like it's no such thing as people having it or not. It's just something that you have to grow to want and like, garner.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. I know some people would say it's either you have it or you don't, but like how you said, it's a habit that grows over time. So you have to develop those habits. That's anybody.
Yes, you have to build those habits, and it's hard, and it takes time, and it takes a lot of time sometimes. But if you want it bad enough, you'll get it together.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, most definitely. Now, I definitely want to get into like this whole evolution of art. Like, what's your whole take of the evolution of art, and especially where it's going in your perspective?
Um, my take on it is I saw a tweet recently that said like pretty much like we're going backwards. Like everyone is like into like what do they call it? Y2K things, like everything is kind of going backwards. And I do not feel that way. I feel like things are like going in such a fun kind of way. Like I never see art that I don't think is like, this is fun, this is relatable. Like things are changing, technology is changing. Like the
Mm-hmm.
Gen Z kids, they're not kids anymore, they're grown. So like we're
Mm-hmm.
selling to them now as well. And
Yeah.
I feel like things are evolving in a very fun and a very interesting way because those kids are different. They're different. And they're a lot more fun. They're a lot more colorful. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they're a lot more dancey and sing-songy than I feel like we were. TikTok.
No, right, you know.
But like, I feel like things are evolving and moving towards catering to them more. And I'm not mad at it. My little sister's a Gen Z. I love her. She's fun. And I like the way that I love how progressive they are. And it kind of forces the rest of us to be just as progressive. Like even if we were hesitant before, they're going to make us do it now. So I love how progressive things are because we are catering to them and, like, and we're more sensitive to things because they're more sensitive to things as they should be, as we always should have been. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we're catering to like them and their needs and like what they feel is right. And they're super progressive. And I feel like art is becoming a lot more progressive with them because that's our audience now. Like that is the people we're selling to. Those are the people like becoming super influencers. And, I feel like
Yeah.
that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, I can definitely agree. Social media has gotten so big over the years, especially with
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok. I remember a time, Snapchat was big.
Okay, Snapchat was big. I just got on there recently and like people are still on Snapchat. I did not know that. People are still on there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, I didn't think like people use Snapchat still, because
Yeah,
like TikTok is like the new Snapchat slash Instagram.
exactly.
And the thing is with TikTok now, you could do 10-minute videos. People are posting all kinds of stuff like, conspiracy stuff, like factual stuff about like, world issues, you know,
Yes, I
kids
love the
doing like,
conspiracy TikTok. I'll be on there for hours listening to conspiracy. I love it.
and you see like a plethora of Black artists getting into TikTok, not just
Yes.
Instagram in itself, like showcasing their work, showcasing their process and their style. So I like how it's getting progressed to what, how you say with technology is progressive, and people are getting into the world of NFTs, making their art accessible,
Mhm.
and that's really cool. And especially making money off of it too. So
Love. Yes, I agree.
yeah, it's absolutely amazing, of where art, this whole creative world is going. And I want to get into in terms of the pricing of your work. So what is your whole process in terms of when you sell like a print or like a bonnet with your work on it? Like, what is your whole take in terms of the pricing of your work?
When it comes to my prints and bonnets, my thought process kind of is accessibility. So like I don't ever want to charge like a crazy amount for a bonnet because you can go to the beauty supply store and get a bonnet for $1. So like
Right.
I don't want to sell a bonnet for $30. Like that's crazy. In the name, just in the name of having my art on it, like I feel like that's crazy. So when it comes to my prints and when it comes to my bonnets and clippies and stuff like that on my website, my thought process is accessibility. It's like obviously making a profit, but like I want as many people as possible to have my art. I want, I want to be on TikTok scrolling and people are talking and my art's in the background, like, because like at the end of the day, like the average income for Americans is not high. It's not high at all. And it's Black people, it's even less. And like Black people are
Mhm.
my audience. So I don't ever want to make it like a crazy amount that's like inaccessible. When it comes to
Right.
my commissions, however, my pricing is based on the clientele that I want to have. Because when I first started out, I think my pricing was like $25. Like in 2020, I think I charged $25 for a custom commission. But like that comes with someone asking for like an illustration with 30 people in it, and they want it done in 5 days. Like that's what that comes with. So like you kind of choose your clientele based on your pricing. And so like I don't mind doing 20 edits when you've paid $1,000. But when you paid only $25 and you want 1,000 edits, like that's when it comes to being like not worth my time. Now I'm resentful of you, client. I don't even know you. Like, and I'm resenting like this experience altogether. So I've had to learn over time, because my pricing for commissions has definitely increased over time, that I'm charging to have the clientele that I am comfortable working with, that's going to make my mental, situation working with them okay, and like make them feel okay. And like, money is a motivating thing. So like, of course, I'm willing to go above and beyond for a certain price, like I'm not willing to go above and beyond for $25. So like, it also changes the experience of the client, because, like that I'm more in tune, like I'm more ready and willing. But that's like something that I felt guilty about for a long time. Like my pricing and like charging what I was worth is something I felt guilty about for a long time. So like, cause I also wanted to make my commissions accessible, but it's so much easier to have 5 clients, 5 quality clients who are like understanding, who are communicating with you, who are like, open, who are, like easier to work with, paying a certain amount of money than it is to have 30 clients paying $25 and they want 30 edits. They don't like it. They want something new. They want, and it's kind of not worth your mental health, which what it turned into. It turned into like being super taxing on my mental, charging not a lot of money, and getting like, crappy clients essentially. So like, that's something that I really learned. And I had to learn not to feel so guilty about, charging what I felt like I was worth and what my time was worth. Just something I learned.
Yeah, that's something that I've learned the process of like pricing like my press-on nails, because of course, like how you said, there's people that will take advantage of you, because you charge a certain way, like how you said, like the certain price that you've priced, and I've heard, and I've learned from my dad is that if people can take advantage of you, they will.
They absolutely will.
You have to understand to put your foot down and set boundaries with clients. And sometimes clients don't really understand the artist or creator's point of view, where when it comes down to like with me, if I make a press-on nail set, or if you make a certain body of work and you're doing all these edits and all these adjustments, it's going to be charged more. It's going to be charged higher. So the thing is that, especially with press-on nail artists, they'll charge $100, $200, $300 for a set of press-ons that they've worked so hard on, because the quality of the material, the time, the detail, you have to hold those things into account. So that's the thing that clients have to understand. We're not going to undercharge, because the thing is, if you don't have a problem buying a Coach bag or a Coach bracelet or a Louis Vuitton garment, then you should have the ability to, buy stuff that is worth the price, that same price.
Exactly, because those bags, they cost like $1 to make. I'm sure of it. And people spend thousands on them. So I'm just like, it makes a difference. And it changes the quality of my workflow. It changes the quality of like everything, my mental health. It literally has changed the quality of everything as far as my business goes, like charging what I'm worth. So that's why I feel a little less guilty about it, because I'm feeling better. I feel like I have a hold on things. I feel like I'm in control. I'm less overwhelmed, because when I'm overwhelmed, I do nothing. Like nothing gets done if I'm overwhelmed. So it has really changed things, charging what I'm worth, but it did take time and guilt.
Yeah, it does take time. The more you understand pricing over time, the better. Like I said, for me, I'm still understanding the ropes of pricing and how to charge. So that's the thing. So it's like a trial and error type of thing.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Now, in terms of favorite art programs and vector programs, what are like your favorite art programs or mediums to use when creating art?
Adobe Fresco, hands down, it's my thing. I did try Procreate. They don't have a vector brush, and I zoom in so close when I'm drawing. Sometimes it messes with my eyes. that there are pixels in Procreate, and I can't stand it. I can't stand to look at them. So that's why I use Adobe Fresco. Like, they're both great, but Adobe Fresco is my thing because I can bear to look at it. I originally used Adobe Draw, but they discontinued it and changed it to Adobe Fresco. But Adobe Fresco also gives you the option to, like, the little animations that I've been doing. They give you the option to do those as well, which I thought is super cool. There's a lot more features in it than Adobe Draw had, but Adobe Fresco is my thing. I don't use any other mediums because I can't stand for things to be on my hands. So I don't paint because I don't want the paint to touch me. I don't literally use anything else that has the possibility of, like, touching me. I don't know why that is a thing for me. I don't know when that became a thing for me, but I don't like things to touch my hands. So digital illustration is great for me. There's no cleanup. There's no possibility of ink or anything getting on me. It's great.
Yeah, like with programs for me, it's like Adobe, Photoshop, Illustrator. I have this program called a Fenty designer, where it's like you pay $50. It's a one-time pay, but it's like the cheaper alternative to Adobe Illustrator. So that's another program that I'm working on. And I used to work with Photoshop, but I don't anymore. But it's mostly like Illustrator and also Fenty designer. And I also like, means I like to work with my hands personally. So, like just with like acrylic paint and also, like pen and ink, those are my like go-to mediums.
Yes, I see a lot of artists doing it, and sometimes I feel like maybe I should try, but it's just a thing for me. I cannot bear for things to touch my hands. It's just not a thing. It's not a thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. And everybody's, mediums are different. So people work different things. So that's the beauty about art. It can be digital or traditional. Yeah, so absolutely. Now, how would you define success?
My definition of success is waking up every morning and deciding exactly what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. Yeah, that's literally my definition. Before I started this business or drawing or anything at all, I was in grad school, and I dropped out, but I was in grad school, and I just kept telling my mom, like, I want freedom to do and be. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that job is. I don't know how much it pays. I'm not sure. I had no details. I just kept saying, I want freedom to do and be. Like, that's what success feels like to me. I want to do whatever I want to do, and I want freedom to do that. That's it. And this whole art thing has literally, like, I manifested it. I just didn't know that I was manifesting it, but I totally manifested it because that's what this experience has been like for me. Like, I literally have a lot of freedom. Like, I work hard, and even when I am having the freedom to do and be what I want to, do and be, I'm still working. But, at least I have those freedoms to decide and freedoms to, like, choose how I want my day to go, or wake up and be like, you know what, today I'm not feeling it. Today I'm having a bad mental health day. Something has made me sad. I don't want to work today. Like, and bottom line, that's it. Or like days where I can be like, you know what, I think I want to take a 3-hour lunch break and take a nap and go to Juicy Crab today. That's what I want to do. And I'll come back and work later. Or I could be like at midnight, every now and then at like midnight, I'll get like this super rush of motivation. And I'm like up till 5 a.m. working, like for no particular reason other than I just had motivation at that time. But, like, I like the freedom to be able to do that. Like, it feels really good to be like in charge of myself. It's hard for sure, but it's a good feeling.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like doing whatever you want and how you like to do it. I think that's very, very cool, especially when you said that, because you definitely want to have that freedom to express yourself any type of way you want, especially through your art. And it's also to like finding that balance of, being productive and taking breaks and things like that. And that's how you maintain that joy of what you love to do.
Exactly. That's literally how you maintain it. And like, since I've started posting myself more and posting like things like that, I found it to be more like a passion project. It has become a lot more fun for me, and I kind of look forward to it. The reels are hard, but I kind of look more forward to it. It hasn't just become like work. It's kind of like a passion project, because I'm on there like doing TikTok dances, trying to do TikTok dances, like it's just become a little more fun. And so I really, it has evolved to become that though. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Last but not least, where can people find you on social media and how can people support your work and your business?
You can find me at Destiny Darcel on Instagram. I have a Twitter, but I don't use it for my art. I just use it to say what's on my mind. But it's also Destiny Darcel. I do have a TikTok. Recently, someone, I don't remember her name, but she was so sweet. She sent me this voice memo on Instagram telling me that I need to post on TikTok. And she was just like, you have to post, start today, do it today. And I actually listened to her. And I've been posting on TikTok, but I couldn't get Destiny Darcel on TikTok. So my name is destinydarcel.com on TikTok. Which I feel like it's like a marketing plug. That's, whatever. That's my name on TikTok. So I've been posting there more. I got like 23 followers last night. I feel famous. So I'm really excited about that. But yes, Instagram and TikTok are my jams. I'm also on Pinterest. Destiny Darcel on Pinterest. I don't post there as often, but I'm still on there. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Destiny, for jumping onto the show. Your work is absolutely great. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was nice to be here.
You're welcome. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also, follow me on my social media platforms and visit my website, asiaticbird.com, and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care and stay beautiful.